Imagine for a moment an ordinary Tuesday morning. 7 billion people are moving through their lives. Coffee is brewing, children are laughing, and cars are idling on crowded highways. And then, there is nothing. No screaming, no warning, and no final breath. Just a sudden, terrifying absence, as if someone reached down from the sky and simply erased us. Every human being on this planet is gone in the span of a single heartbeat. The coffee is still hot, the engines are still running, and a child's swing is still moving in the morning wind. But there is no one left to see any of it. So what happens next to the cities, to the oceans, to the animals, and to the planet itself? What does Earth look like when we are no longer watching? And here is the question that will haunt you long after this ends. Was this planet ever truly ours to begin with? Scientists have actually studied this, not as science fiction, but as a serious, sobering exercise in understanding just how deeply human civilization has altered this planet. And the findings are not what most people expect. We tend to think of ourselves as permanent, as essential, and as the architects of something that cannot be undone. We built cities that scraped the clouds. We split atoms, and we rewired the chemistry of the entire atmosphere. Surely our absence would leave a wound so deep the world could never recover. But what the science actually reveals is something far more unsettling. Something that quietly forces you to reconsider everything you believed about humanity's place on this earth. Because the truth is, the planet would not mourn us. And honestly, if questions like this keep you awake at night, this channel was made for you. But before we get to what Earth becomes without us, we need to understand what happens in those first terrifying hours. Because the first 12 hours alone would be catastrophic in ways nobody ever talks about. Within just a few hours of our disappearance, the world begins to go dark. Most of the electricity on planet Earth is generated by fossil fuel power plants, facilities that require a constant, vigilant stream of human monitoring, maintenance, and fuel. Without engineers to manage the grids and automated systems to regulate the flow, these power stations will quickly overheat or trigger automated safety shutdowns. Within 12 hours, a cascading failure rips through the global energy grid. Major metropolises, from Tokyo to New York, plunge into pitch-black darkness. The iconic skylines that once defined human achievement are instantly erased. For the first time in centuries, the only light illuminating the empty streets comes from the cold, distant stars above. By the third day, the crisis deepens as the planet's remaining safety nets begin to fail. Nuclear power stations, which generate a significant portion of global electricity, are equipped with automated safety systems designed to prevent disasters in emergencies. However, these systems rely on diesel backup generators to keep the cooling pumps running when the main power grid fails. These generators only carry enough fuel to last for a few days. By day 3, that fuel runs out. As the backup power dies, the automated systems trigger an immediate, total emergency shutdown of the reactors to prevent catastrophic core meltdowns. Across the globe, hundreds of nuclear plants go completely dark, sealing their radioactive cores and plunging human civilization into an even deeper, irreversible state of absolute blackness. With the world plunged into absolute darkness, human civilization officially falls silent. By the 10th day, the invisible threads that connected us to our domestic animals begin to snap. Millions of indoor pets, from loyal dogs to house cats, find themselves trapped inside concrete tombs. For those lucky enough to escape through open windows or broken doors, a brutal, unforgiving reality awaits. The artificial boundaries of breed and pedigree disappear overnight. In the streets of empty suburbs, former companions are forced to form feral packs, reverting to their primal instincts to survive. The small, specialized breeds succumb quickly to hunger and predators, while the larger, more resilient dogs reclaim their ancestral roles as wolves of the concrete jungle. As weeks turn into months, the urban landscape undergoes a shocking metamorphosis. Without maintenance workers to clear the drainage systems, rain and storms quickly clog the sewers. Within the first 6 months, major city avenues transform into rushing rivers and stagnant swamps. In the cracks of the concrete, billions of seeds carried by the wind find a foothold. Without the constant assault of lawnmowers and weed killers, life explodes upward. Green moss and aggressive vines crawl up the facades of luxury glass skyscrapers, transforming human monuments into vertical forests. By the end of the first year, the built environment experiences its first major architectural failures. Without heating systems to regulate winter temperatures, pipes freeze and burst, flooding the interiors of museums, libraries, and homes. Mold and fungi consume the drywall, while wood-boring insects silently hollow out suburban structures. The infrastructure that humans built to last for centuries begins to rot from the inside out. Nature does not politely wait for its turn. It aggressively, systematically, and beautifully deconstructs the world we left behind, turning our proud metropolises into a quiet, overgrown wilderness. So here we are, back at that Tuesday morning, back at the coffee still brewing, the swing still moving, the engines still running. The scenario was hypothetical. You are still here. We all are. And somehow, that feels different now. Because what this thought experiment quietly forces us to confront is not the horror of our absence. It is the weight of our presence. Every single day that we exist on this planet, we are making a choice, whether we acknowledge it or not. A choice about how much space we take, how lightly we walk, what we leave behind. The Earth does not need us. That much is clear. It was here 4.5 billion years before we arrived. It will be here long after the last trace of us dissolves into the stone. But we need it. Completely, utterly, without negotiation. And that asymmetry, that profound imbalance, is perhaps the most humbling scientific truth of our age. We are not the story of this planet. We are a chapter. A remarkable, disruptive, world-altering chapter, full of beauty and catastrophe in equal measure. And like every chapter in every story ever written, it will eventually end. The question is what we do with the pages we have left. What kind of chapter do you want to be?